frame a window, that whole window becomes a sign.
Well, I agree, I agree. There's I guess it's a pawn shop. Goods, just down several stores, well, a couple stores down from House of Pizza, near the IGA. That's the only one in the town I've seen like it. It doesn't look like it ought to be there.
You talking about the one in the IGA shopping center?
Yeah.
Well, that's the vape shop,
That's what I'm thinking. Excuse me. But that's permitted like it is. It's permitted like it is.
that's what we talked about.
I thought it was pretty.
It's not, it's a window sign, which doesn't require a permit, so according to the ordinance, so that's what we need to kind of go over, but,
Okay.
that's.
Well, I'm glad to see that's in here.
Struggling with it.
Glad to see that's in here. I looked at that and said, do what?
Another issue I'm having too, is you look at a lot of these security lights. I mean, they're lighting, that, you can look out here, look at the one over there, across from the school, these lights are sky. Just awful bright. And it is, that shouldn't be, I mean, it should be, I understand security, but that's certainly, I mean, we require downlighting everywhere else. Another one we got over here too, it's different, if you look over here at the wine and cigar shop, they've got these, what look like Christmas lights, bordering their whole front, and, can get out of hand.
Yeah, some people would push the envelope and stuff.
Okay, that's fine, I just wanna make sure she wasn't, you get confused. John Miles in town?
I'm not sure if he's in town, but he told Sarah Lynn he would make it, so I'm not sure exactly what. But, All right.
How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Mr. Constant? You looking better? Feeling better?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing good, he said.
I'm glad you could come in and join us.
Good to see you.
Sit over there. Please switch your side.
Uh-huh.
Cindy Nord has made application to come back on.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
She has?
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You all can give Carol a little bit of the background on that. She's been a good member. Talking about Cindy Nord.
Yeah.
Good member, great member.
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
forward to meeting her.
She is sometimes could be a little frank. Because if I had her money, I could probably be a little more pretty kind of frank.
Yeah, I can learn to be frank.
I could. All right, Keith Bailey, you won't be.
here. You either show up or I'm gonna sit in your chair and be you tonight.
I just got done with it. I just don't.
Did you?
I'm just about to get into your chair now. I'm gonna give you about another minute and then I'm there.
If he's gonna be the foreman, man, you're not careful.
Oh, I understand now. I understand now.
Hello, Melissa.
I understand. I'm here to give you some love. I'm gonna sit in that chair of yours and give you some love. I appreciate that. I feel the same way. I'll see you in a minute. He'll be here in a minute. I ought to go get in the seat or switch to.
Yeah, we're gonna make him vice chairman if you don't hear.
How's the rest of your family doing?
Everybody's doing very good. Robert just got in his house. You see the driveway there. Nice place. Can't get his garage door. Can't get his. They've been building his house. Can't get the stove range. 48-inch wide saying. They say they might get about it first. Got there,
That's amazing.
crazy, Paul.
Strange times.
I never seen what material costs. I went up and bought some stuff the other day. It normally would be a couple $100.
It didn't come with Dale's.
Huh?
It didn't come with Dale's.
I can't figure out how this is going. What happens to housing values now? This stuff, some are way over market price. Does it come down in the future? Value? Stay there? How do you insure it? The replacement cost, your house, mine would be a whole lot more than what
What's on our policy right now? I know some folks hit in the used car. They can't find a decent price on a used car. They take a hit, try to buy something.
It is expensive. I don't quite know what the phrase going with what you're saying, so I'm not worried about something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna get you something nice.
Say what?
I was gonna get you something real nice.
But you have to wait a year.
You can hang on your wall. I'm gonna see how we do at the end of the season.
I
before I get it.
appreciate it. Boys talk, he's not talking quite as sure as he was last year.
Yeah.
About a football game.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure we could beat you this year. I was very sure.
I would
of it
agree,
last
I would
year.
agree to, with you, a couple of weeks ago, I said, yeah, I don't even want to go, but now. That's the best game I've seen in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. I mean, they meant to win. The moment they stepped on that field, man, it's full speed ahead.
That was a good opponent to beat like that. That was a good game to win.
I've been happy they beat them 80 to nothing.
There you are getting
Yeah.
green.
They deserve it. Florida's got to deserve it.
There you are getting green. You're not gonna wish that on your Tigers, are you?
No. Take 3 points. They keep so many weight.
He said, give me 5. I'll be all right." You know, that
one, yeah.
quarterback reminded me of Lamar Jackson again. Just street ball.
Yeah.
Once he gets out, he's gone.
Yeah.
You don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
He can run. You know, and it's
Well, he
fun
done-
watching
done-
Lamar Jackson play pro ball. He hadn't changed a bit.
Ugly doesn't have legs that y'all are used to seeing in the club.
Of course, he was hurt too, but when he's healthy, he does.
It's not his DNA.
Uh-oh.
He's a good quarterback.
But I can't figure out. I don't think it's just one issue. It's a couple things.
Well, I know. Biggest thing is, you know, you just don't have a quarterback. Make the plays when they got it.
So y'all better take advantage while you can, because next year,
Who's gonna be there next year?
I don't know, but it'll be better than what we got this year.
I'm glad you say, Eugene.
Sophomore. Yeah, but he played better last year. He filled in for. We're gonna have to start getting into things that's going for years. We'll show him how to arrive at a meeting.
Y'all should serve dinner tonight. This house should serve dinner tonight.
Yeah.
It's not too late for takeout, is it?
You might stop getting
You better bring it up for everybody. Henry followed me home, Hudson, the other day. We got off at 26, went to the pulled up to the stop sign. He's down, stop. He was right behind me. As he eased out again, there was a car coming. But I probably didn't ease out. Before I know it, bam, yeah.
Who was it?
Henry hit me with his truck. It hit the hitch. His bumper hit my hitch. You know what that looks like. He was apologizing to me. I said, you apologize to me. You didn't look at your bumper. I said, that hurts your feelings doing stuff like that. Everybody has their episodes.
No, we got to send out a police escort.
I was just getting ready to switch the nameplate. I was just getting ready.
You keep,
Pull up a chair.
pull up,
Come on, we're glad to see you.
Well, I'm certainly glad to be here in the flesh.
otherwise wouldn't be very good.
Yeah. Be a lot of dirt around us, huh?
All right, it is it's 6:40, and we'll call the November 8th BAR meeting to order. Phyllis, if you would call the roll, please, I'd appreciate it. Here. Here.
Most definitely. Bring my sunglasses instead of my real glasses? Well, it's-
Based on the roll call, I do declare that we do have a quorum, and I assume that the notification and the agenda will post it according to requirements. Very good. The agenda is in front of you folks, and if you all will take a look at it, and if you would, make a motion to accept or amend the agenda.
I make a motion to accept it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. If we would stand for the pledge, the flag is behind us. Mr. Bailey, would you lead us in the pledge, please, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't ask me to do a prayer.
Okay, you all have the minutes of the prior meeting, the August 16th meeting in front of you. If you would, take a minute to look at that. And make a motion again to amend or approve as presented. Fairly lengthy.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the minutes from the the August 16th meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, are there any citizens that have signed up for any kind of comments? So there's nothing on from citizens. All right, the first action item tonight is 2021-05-COA, 100 Mcnulty Street. This is a request from the Blythewood Historical Society and Museum for the Certificate of Appropriateness. And who's speaking on their part? Stacy, okay, if you would come forward, please, and, there's the mic. If you would, again, state your name completely and what your relationship is with the Historical Society and Museum.
Hi, my name is Stacy Ritchie, STACIRICHEY, and I am a consultant, historic preservation consultant, and I've been working with the Blythewood Historical Society Museum now for a couple of years, and we are working toward upgrading the exterior to try to return it more toward a residential and historic appearance. So this is, as you know, one of the few historic buildings in Blythewood, built around 1904 for the Langford family. It was converted in the 1970s and 80s more toward commercial use, and to that end, it has some unfortunate renovations to it. Unfortunately, one of the biggest changes was the expansion of Highway 21, which I don't know the timing, but the net result is that there is no longer a porch on the historic facade, which faced US 21.
A few comments about your background, if you would give us that.
My background, well, I have a master's in historic preservation from the University of South Carolina, and I've worked in nonprofit, local government, and private consulting for the last 16 years. So now I work for myself as a consultant for organizations like this. And I work on getting grants and museum work and historic preservation.
So you're certified?
Certifiable. I have the background and degree to have the goods, so I'm not sure, there's no certification for this besides
That's
a
good to
master's
know.
degree.
I think I'll do it next if there's no certification.
This looks like there are 4 items that you're talking about presenting on behalf
Yes,
of
so
the museum.
we've been really fortunate to have the support of the Richland County Conservation Commission in the form of 2 grants. So the work that you saw last fiscal year in terms of the removal of the metal siding and painting of the original wood siding was part of that, was part of the first grant. And this grant is for 4 main components. The biggest component would be the introduction or reintroduction of a porch back on the historic facade facing US 21 or Main Street. This is not going to be, a genuine porch in terms of having at least a 6-foot depth. It would probably be about 2 feet deep by about 25 feet wide, as you can see in the packets that I've provided. The reason for the minimal depth is because we are so close to the lot line, which has moved toward the building over time. We would like to put a porch in general to return a more residential and historic appearance to this building. It also would kind of help with that very flat facade. When I first came to Blythewood and looked at this building, I was not sure what all had happened. I knew some things had happened. So this is kind of an effort to return some historic character. We would have turned posts and turned balustrade, similar to what would have been there originally. As you can see on some of the other examples that were in Blythewood from older photos. In front of the door, we would like to put in a door, transom, and side lights, which is what was there previously. Yes, thank you. So it would kind of look like that image there with a door, transom, and side lights, using either salvage or new material, and that would help get it more toward a residential look again. And this porch would help protect those new elements, or historic elements.
This is the original front of the house.
Right, so this is the original facade. Over the years, the south elevation has really become the entrance that everyone knows and uses, and they still use today. So this will not become a new entrance by any means. This will not be accessible to the public. There will not be any steps to the porch. It will, obviously have a foundation, but there won't be any steps. The fence will stay, so it won't be kind of a welcoming, too much of a welcoming thing that we wouldn't expect any pedestrians to mistake that for the entrance to the museum. So those are the two main changes on that elevation would be the porch or shallow porchlet, however you want to look at that, and then the reintroduction of a door, transom, and side lights in the central bay. And then the other two changes would be on the south elevation, which is on Mcnulty Street. If you could keep going. Those are some examples of other porches. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. So this is the south elevation, and that central portion there was a porch that was enclosed years ago. It has a double door and oddly shaped side lights. And we'd like to remove that and get back to either a single door or a double door, but we'd also like to put screen doors on there because we would like to attach screen to that elevation. We'd paint that wall dark and attach screen to that and trim it out so it would look more like a historic screen porch. So if you look, if you'll scroll down a little bit further to the next page, right there, thank you. So that is a historic image from the Clean Collection that shows what that elevation looked like. That's probably, I would guess, a circa 1940s image or 50s. So we're kind of going back to mid-century look here. The door would not be moved to the location it's seen here, but anyway, you'd get the idea of the vertical white trim and the dark screen. And that would be the goal for the changes to that elevation.
Any questions from board members?
And then the final part of this would be the changes to the north elevation addition, which was a kind of a patio porch. And currently it has lattice, yes, thank you, lattice over metal siding. And we would like to, again, attempt to get it more looking back like a porch. We would not use screen material on this wing, but we would use a smooth panel material on the top, 2/3, paint that dark, trim it out like a screen porch, and then put siding where you see the siding currently, so that it would kind of replicate a mid-century porch or patio. And those are the main changes to the exterior as we've been granted to do, and certainly hope that you will consider supporting us in. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
What we're saying basically is that the Main Street side will replicate the original entrance to the house, but will be a non-usable access, only used as an access to the house.
I would anticipate the door,
Like all the banks in town.
Basically,
yeah, I would anticipate that you'd be able to open the door in terms of the staff or personnel, so that they could get to the porch for any kind of maintenance or decoration.
no steps.
But there'd be no exterior access, right?
And then on the Mcnulty side, we're saying that that entrance will be just a faux screen porch, and that you still would be using that side as probably the main entrance to the house.
Right, that would stay the main entrance. We have, spent a lot of effort on the interior renovation of the exhibits, and hope that everyone here has visited or will visit soon. And that's how we orient our visitors to enter.
Just describe once again what you are asking for on the screen porch on the north side.
So on the north side, that is seen here, that was an addition probably from the 1950s or 60s. And right now it has I think there's plywood behind the lattice, and they are both either in need of repainting or replacement. So the goal would be to just replace that with a smooth siding, maybe a hardy sheathing panel, like a smart panel or something. I'm not sure what they're called. And then paint that a dark color to mimic the look of a screen without using screen material, and then use like a contrasting trim, like white trim, to make it look like the bays of a screen porch, similar to what we'd be doing on the south side. It's all smoke and mirrors, but the goal is to, it obviously needs attention anyway. And if we can get this building looking more residential and looking more like it did historically, then why not, try to make that effort.
Almost anything done on the north side would be an improvement, obviously.
It does need work.
Questions, Scotty?
No, I think I understand it.
I really like these changes. I would like to point out too, if it's acceptable, that, that even though Ralph Walden is an advisor to our group, he's worked with this society for these renderings. So he has his hands on both sides of the plate. He's assisted, with both of these.
Right, these drawings are actually a couple years old, and we were I wrote a building plan for the society to kind of wrap our brains around what we could possibly do, and then pursued the grants, and here we are a couple years later.
It's just a shame we can't put a full-size porch on the
I
side.
know,
Love to see it.
that would be great.
Was there at one time, or is it the thought that there was a screen porch on the north?
Yes, this whole area here, that was screen porch, this was all open,
I got you.
the roof line.
I see it there.
Yeah, but on that north addition, behind that metal siding, there's no sheathing. It wasn't a real wall, so to speak, so probably just a screen originally.
Will you be adding lighting to the front on the Main Street side, side of the doors? It's actually in the sketch.
Oh. Did he have sconces or something? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we probably could that's not historically accurate. I don't know, I'm sorry, that's not a detail we really discussed. What, do you have a preference of what should be, or do you have any
I
recommendation?
think it would look better with lighting if it could be added,
I agree it would.
And I don't understand you're dealing with kind of an unusual structure to start with. So, and whether you could get access to it or not, but just consider it.
Yeah, either from the ceiling of the porch or sconces, something. Or there could be directional lighting if in the front, very, I guess, hidden behind the fence, maybe showing up on the building is another possibility.
Mr. Williamson, does this fit? We're not like, stepping on the lines of any ordinances or things of that nature in terms of appropriateness?
No, I don't believe so. Pretty minimal addition out, but I don't think it has effect.
My setbacks.
Yeah.
It's such a, yeah, I mean, with 2 feet is, and it's not really spelled out, what the setback is there. So, I think, the board has some discretion there to use, to move towards the road, for sure.
We got to protect our little holly shrubs, Jim, that you and I labored over.
I suspect they'll have to be transplanted.
I'm afraid some of those might be sacrificed or moved.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Discussion? So there are no issues from the town regarding setbacks and all, as far as them moving forward with this? I know that it's,
Correct, yeah, and I think, and the board, like I said, has some discretion there for appropriateness to move it forward, and particularly since it's just 2 feet that we're talking about. I think it probably worth taking into some consideration, just the site from the intersection. Just take that into account when designing that.
okay. Yeah, I think there's 2 things there, I guess, that, and also just make sure there's no conflict with the power lines, which is, I think is set out beyond the fence itself, so there shouldn't be any conflict. Okay, any other comments, questions? Ms. Ritchie? Okay, is there a motion to issue a certificate of appropriateness based on the 4 items we've talked about?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second it?
Okay, any other discussion? All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank
Any
you so much.
questions from you, Ms. Whit, as far as moving forward that you have of us or the town?
No, I don't. I appreciate your time, and thank you for, reconnecting, having the meeting, since we weren't able to have it earlier. I really appreciate that, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you very much. Okay. Other business we have is the ordinance and section 155-315, 155-316, 155-495, 155-03. You lead run us through that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So at our last meeting we did a workshop. We went through the ordinance and tried to make some changes. And so, and following that, Mr. Walden, Sarah Lynn, and I met and went over his recommended changes, and that's what's in your packet. We're still working on it because what he didn't look at yet or hadn't gotten back to me is the town center has a lot of building requirements in addition to what's in the architecture overlay district and in the board architecture review sections. So what my intent is, and I've kind of drafted this, but I still need to work with him, is get all the building things into the architecture overlay district. So then it's not all this, what zoning district is it, because different standards apply. I think we could put the different standards of the different zoning districts. So it's primarily town center district and then all other commercial. So town center has a lot of more requirements than just the commercial. So what I was thinking is at least put it sections in the architecture overlay district that says town center, here's all the requirements, and then all the other commercial districts would be abbreviated, is the way the ordinance is written now. Now, I mean, if there was an interest in making town center requirements in all the commercial districts, could certainly do that. Because they've all got to come to the board architectural review regardless. It says in the, I think section 155-316, I believe that all commercial districts require board architectural review. And so anyway, so it's still a work in progress. So I just wanted to come back to y'all and just let you know that we have made some changes, but it's a lot of changes, and we're continuing to work on it. And so just wanted to kind of give you a heads up of where we are, follow up that we are working on it. And we'll have something to bring back to you. And then once it meets your approval, then of course it needs to go to the planning commission as a text amendment and council for approval. So just wanted to bring that back to you. And then if you had any additional input,
I breezed through it. I think it needs a little bit closer look at it, but I appreciate all the detail.
that's mainly Ralph. But yeah, I think he just wanted to I think it was confusing for him on some of this, what was actually being applied. And so I think it helps him to go through it and have a better understanding of the ordinance. But I think one of the main objectives is to simplify the review for y'all as well as him and staff.
Do we intend to take a stab at putting something in here, or at least addressing modular construction?
We can, yeah. Well, all right, so, the section it kind of specifies what can be used, and that's not and so we could it's just not in there, and we could put it in there more explicitly if you want. But I think if you would just review that section of what's permitted and then what's prohibited, and if it needs more than that, then certainly.
I think we said basically that as far as the full brick is concerned, that the current language is probably clear enough.
Mhm.
That won't be any reason to come in, make any changes to that.
Right, and I think it's just,
Just stay in place. So, we saw that one almost flipped by us, but I think since we've been exposed to it, we won't make that mistake.
and I think that's something that should be in all commercial districts, not just town center. So I've made that change. It says full brick, so it's clear that would apply, not just town center, but everything.
I think the modular siding application ought to be hand in hand with that, personally.
Well, if you would look at there and let me know some language that you're uncomfortable with, and it'd be good to get that.
As far as what, Paul, being installed on site, you mean?
Yes.
It's not coming in.
As opposed to being set panels of X number of inches long, have a long wall that you can go last joint. I happened to look at a new Arby's in central South Carolina, up there near those Tigers. It was a dine-in facility. It was about as wide as what we were looking at, but it was much longer. Of course, it looked like it was built in place.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't anything modular looking about it.
Uh-huh.
But it's a new facility. I don't know.
Arby's, you said?
It looked nice.
One of the problems we had with Arby's too was kind of a liberal use of different colors.
This didn't
bright
have
red,
that.
yeah.
This blended in pretty well. I'll take some pictures and send it to you. Just so you can-
Yeah, that'd be good.
If they haven't come back, there's no indication that they're coming back at all.
No, but I think another fast food restaurant is showing interest.
We're not going to be the first, really?
I know, an opportunity to be the first.
I think you offended them.
But there'll be someone else coming in that location or coming to the board for that, probably, potentially in December. So,
That's the same site.
correct. So, but Kirk's a strong watchdog, and he said, don't submit without full brick. So, so, we'll see what happens.
Well, I think we benefited from the experience with Arby's too, because
Yes.
that was the first time that we've looked at anything like these large buildings, and I think we learned a lot as we kind of tried to labor through it. And, well, just being able to go to the planning commission for the first part of the year.
I hope so, yeah, I think.
Kind of plans. Any other comments of Mr. Williamson? These changes? And the next one is lighting / signage.
Right, well, so, all right, so, if you look in the memo I had in the packet, it's probably maybe the very last page, yeah.
Last page on-
Okay, so this type of lighting is inside a window. So our ordinance has a section, it's not a permitted a sign that requires a permit. Window signs is in the exempt signs section, and it says window signs are exempt provided that sign surface area is proportional to the building scale and architectural features, does not cover more than 50% of the window area, and does not obscure the vision at a height between 4 feet and 7 feet above ground level at the window. While some of that would restrict what's shown here, it may not completely address the issue. And so that's trying to work with the ordinance to find something we could really apply, that we could apply across the town. And I've tried to, come up with some language, and I'd like to get your feedback as well, but these are LED strip lights, and so we can just say flat out that LED strip lights are not permitted, or LED strip lights, except for white, are permitted. I have gotten a light meter and gone up there during the day with the building official. He's got what he uses, and then I went there early in the morning when it was dark. But there is other sections about brightness and the measurement of brightness in this ordinance, and the measurements I got back did not did not exceed the brightness in here. So.
What we talked about, I think, everybody is an issue maybe at the IGA shopping center.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not trying to single them out, but one business there that has basically a full window type of LED lighting. There are,
And it could be, anyone could get this is off Amazon. This is, an easy to get, and you can get lettering to, basically just create a sign, and it's just,
wraps the whole window.
yeah. And it's extremely bright and a wide range of colors. It changes. So we did tell them they can't be blinking, and they stopped that. But I just want to,
But I think another issue of this is actually the actual color.
right.
I don't know why that we struggle with buildings and signage regarding the bright colors, and kind of in-your-face colors. And I think a lot of the LED lighting is, I think, something in your face.
Right.
It's certainly, if you ride by the IGA, you'll see that this one stands out. There's no question. It's very unique to that shopping center. But like Ms. Williams saying, that this is not everybody can do it based on.
That's
what
just a
current
bad
ordinance is
precedent. That's just a bad precedent for my people. It really does. Because then they get what we call in the military creep, mission creep.
Right.
All of a sudden, this is that, and then they start gaming the system on top of it. I think we need to avoid that at all costs. It's just me.
I think LED lighting, I'm not so sure. I know that from an energy standpoint, there's a lot of things that go into LED. I think the strip lighting itself, I'd like to see it eliminated too. Completely done away with, particularly when it comes to framing businesses and windows and doors and things.
Right.
Now, just from another standpoint, our philosophy has always been dark skies. Meaning all lights need to go down.
Right.
In this particular case, this one I assume goes out. That falls very near the category of being obtrusive.
Right. So that's what I'm looking for. I think that we just need some more stronger language in the ordinance that it addresses this specifically. So,
Can we eliminate them? Can we draft an ordinance that eliminates or bars them until the language is written?
we could, the way you could do that is have a pending ordinance doctrine where it's like we basically we've advertised that the ordinance is going to change. And let me check on that. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, signage is so wrapped in legal things that I just want to make sure we do this correctly. But there is something that you can establish that says, a pending ordinance doctrine that this is coming up. So, let me just check on that because of the fact that it is there now. So,
Could this body, this comes under, is it an action item for us? Could we come up and recommend that, that we look at the possibility of,
We can recommend.
that
Certainly.
that you take action?
Council got to make a decision.
right, so if you just give me a request to bring back some language, or just, work directly with the planning commission. I mean, it's just get your guidance. I guess some question about, say, Christmas lights. And do we want to, carve out some sort of exception in there? So,
Seasonal lights.
right, so I think,
One thing.
right,
Another thing, maybe using Christmas lights, 12 months a year.
I think
Correct.
we need to establish a time period, though.
right. December 1st to January 1st or something. Yeah, I mean, I think that's
We're
what,
celebrating Christmas in June. No, take those lights down.
all right, so just so I'm capturing what y'all are, your intent is, LED strip lights would be prohibited with the exception of seasonal lights from Thanksgiving until January 1st of each year. How about, okay, I think that pretty much. And also, like, obviously, signs like open, that uses LED, is already sort of addressed in here under, it says like warning, no trespassing, and similar informational signs no greater than 4 square feet. I think that an open or a closed sign that is lit would not be affected by this.
I think you also maybe consider that multicolor lights.
Well, I'm just going to say,
If you just-
all LED strip lights are if that's, okay. And with the exception of, so I mean, it's going to be, I'm going to write it as LED strip lights are prohibited with the exception of seasonal lights from Thanksgiving to first of the year. That,
I'd say.
The other thing under lighting has to do, I think, with some, if you ride through the town, and this is a difficult one, but a lot of these security lights that you see, they're not rated to dark sky. If you see some of the buildings behind you, these security lights have different establishments, they're bright.
You're not putting down.
No,
Out.
they're guiding, trying to light the whole area. And there's several of them in town that are quite So, but again, they are security lights, but technically, they do not meet the ordinance, it's not ordinance. It was currently written.
Yeah, that's a non-starter. You can't start chipping away at the ordinance and not adhering to it. Why have them? That makes a good point there.
But typically, they're mounted on, on utility poles, and, they're basically, they light the area, they light the whole establishment. And, so you have a little bit of empathy because, because of the security feature that they're trying to accomplish. But it's definitely against the lighting standards.
So this is, when you're talking about lighting, that it is not oriented down.
Lighting's not.
Okay.
So we got someone that enforces the code, or you just ride by like, hey, that should be like that, but
No.
you gotta get over here and get a burger from Hardee's.
Well, we're not working at night, so we don't see it all, but when you call it our attention, then we certainly can.
I work at
Well,
just ride around Blythewood
Yeah.
and making out, making notes.
But it's mainly what I've seen has been on 21 Main Street.
okay,
So if you ride from basically just,
okay. All right.
and like I say, you need to be fair with that too. I mean, I understand the reason for lighting,
Mm-hmm.
for security and safety.
Dark skies, clear horizon. But then we start going back down that trail again with that Batman in the sky, with George Spencer and McDonald's. Like, really? That's for another day, I guess. Again.
If you will, just kind of look through the town and see what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I'll get with you afterwards about
I have to
specific
work late,
locations.
man. I have to wait till after dusk.
Well,
So daylight savings for.
okay, I guess nobody else has signed up. Any open citizen comment? Kirk, you'd like to make it? Anything else, Mr. Goskin? Nothing? Good. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second, is there a second?
Just a second, that's second.
In favor, say aye. Ayes have it. Thank you very much, and this is called meeting. You think we're gonna have a meeting next week, on the third Monday?
No, I don't think so.
We're not scheduled for any type of,
So I think it takes place of that, but May and December.
any news, any comment about the car wash?